So when we look at something like what you just tried, and we're trying to write an exponential equation for it, um, it really helps to know the y-intercept. Why does it help to know the y-intercept? It's because we know that a is the y-intercept in this case, right? A is the y-intercept, and that saves us from having to find that parameter, right? So basically, we can just tell you what it is. If we have it on a graph, if we have it on a table, I know here's the y-intercept, and I can say a is 1/2 in this case because it's the y-intercept. That's nice. Well, if I had a table, I could also say the y-intercept is 1/2. I know that's here because x is 0, right? X is always 0 at the y-intercept right here. That's where x is 0. So I've got it here or I've got it here, and all I need from there would be another point. Another point, just like what we did to solve an equation, y equals mx plus b, where we know the slope, say m is 5, and we had some xy point, right? We had goes through 0.37. Okay, you can plug those in then. Y is 7, the slope is 5, x is 3. Solve for b and you're good to go. Very similar here, right? If I know the y-intercept, then I can plug that in. Y equals 1/2 times b to the x. Now I just need to find what b is, and I'll have the equation. Well, what do we have? Is a bunch of other points that are on the curve, right? I could use 3, 13.5 if the graph looked like this. I could grab that point from the table. I could grab any of these points from the table. Right? Any of those are going to work because if they're on the curve, then they're solutions. If they're on the curve, then they work in the equation. They make the equation true. So let's just pick this one since it's on both the graph and whatever. There's no really reason. Here, there's an x and a y. I can say 13.5 is 1/2 times b to the third. Right? Now, this is just like, we got to solve it just like we did in the last video here. So we have to kind of do reverse order of operations and first get rid of this times 1/2. We can get rid of times 1/2 by dividing by 1/2, or you can also think of this as, right, 1/2 times b to the third is just b to the third over 2. So you can times 2. Either way, divide by 1/2 times 2, those are literally the same thing. So divide by 1/2, because what do you do when you divide by a fraction? You flip it and multiply. So times 2. That makes this 27 is b to the third. Okay, and now we know that we can take the third root of both sides. And luckily, I know this one. Don't have to throw it in a calculator. That is 3, right? B is 3. 3 times 3 is 9 times 3 is 27. So b is 3, and there you go. There's your equation. Y equals 1/2 times 3 to the x. I did it. So that's all you got to do, right? If you know the y-intercept, it's so helpful because you just plug that in. And then you plug in x and y, and you can solve down. It's just like what we did when we were finding linear equations and we had the slope and a point, except now we've got the y-intercept and a point.